get a little bit more responsible and understand that he's running a state.
Is Mr. Wike irresponsible?
I didn't say he's irresponsible. I said get a little bit more responsible.
Let's make progress.
The PDP, the People's Democratic Party, is considering expelling members of the G5 governors, which is made up of Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Samuel Ortom of Benue State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, and Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State, if they go ahead and announce their support for any presidential candidate other than the PDP presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. If the PDP decides to take such action, what will be the legal implications for the candidacy of the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, who is seeking re-election, as well as Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu, Samuel Ortom of Benue, and Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia, who are all contesting for the senatorial seats in their respective states? Will they become candidates without platforms? As under the electoral laws, you cannot seek office without being sponsored by a political party. Section 58, subsection 1 of the PDP Constitution, that no member can bring the party into dispute or expose it to hate or lower the estimation of the party. And then, of course, the consequence will be as determined by the Board of Trustees. Now, can the party, the PDP, afford to suspend the membership or expel Governor Wike and others? What do you think?
Well, you must understand that this issue about what people call G5 governors has been on for a while and is largely overflogged. We've heard rumors of a meeting in London prior to determining which candidate is going to support in the presidential polls coming in February. To the PDP, that's still a rumor. It is until the governors actually carry out that threat. That is when the PDP hierarchy, of course there must be consequences for bad behavior. As I speak with you, I'm very sure that not all the G5 governors are in London. I'm aware of a governor of a state that is signing his budget as we speak, who is supposedly a G5 member. You also realize that 4 out of those 5 governors are on the ballot for elections. I really want to see the magic of how somebody can contemplate supporting another candidate apart from the PDP presidential candidate and still hope to win his own elections. By and large, the PDP has largely tried to tread on the path of caution. We understand the fact that there might be disagreements in-house in the family, and the party has always continued to plead and continued to look at measures aimed at sorting out whatever issues that certain people, in the aggrieved members of the party, might have. There's never a time we've looked at it that everybody must be on the same page in the party. But the most important things are what are the critical issues to Nigeria as a nation. And those are the issues that PDP is challenged to look at. And it's on that premise we are still looking at all efforts to ensure that there's peace within the party structure to be able to attend to that urgent need to rescue Nigeria.
But going back to the previous one on stepping down of the PDP chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, and your presidential candidate saying that let's wait till after elections and then we'll be able to sort things out because it's a constitutional issue. What's your take on this? Why has it been difficult to come to some sort of truce for the good of the party?
You know, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is a very seasoned administrator. When this crisis started, there was an issue between legality and convenience. You sit down, you say you want to remove the national chairman. By the time you look at the process of removal of national chairman of PDP as in the constitution, you find that it's a very big drawback to an electioneering period. And it's on this premise that there's always been this appeal, let us face what is most important first of all, before beginning to deal with internal party issues. For some of us, we're beginning to suspect that it's not all is looking like. Every day, certain people are coming up with new requests. I've even heard about a request of sign an agreement to spend one term and all that. These are things that clearly they are pointers to the fact that there are some fourth columnists or fifth columnists who are part of trying to infiltrate the PDP and use certain people as molds to try and truncate the process that is ongoing. What makes me very happy is the fact that the PDP is actually the issue in this election. Everybody is agitated, everybody is talking about the internal wranglings in the PDP, meaning that they're looking up to the party to be able to deliver Nigeria. We are showing Nigerians that in spite of all these problems, the PDP is ready to take on that challenge. Because going back a little memory lane, there are certain issues that are very critical to this election. So we don't get distracted with the antics of few people who do not agree with what the mainstream thinks. The issue in this election are fairly simple. It is about how do we take Nigeria forward. The issues about this election are about what has happened to Project Nigeria in view of issues like security, issues like economy, healthcare, the general growth of our people. Those are the issues on the ballot on February 25th, not the G5 governors. And the PDP has refused to be distracted by those things because delivering Nigeria is an urgent task that requires very, very clear focus, measurable timelines, and real visioning. Going about getting distracted by people who it appears as the days go by that their interests are not totally the interests of the people of Nigeria who are going to be the beneficiaries of this new process. It begins to question what the intents of those group of people are. If people begin to look at issues just purely from the prism of Mr. A must resign, Mr. B must leave, where does that leave the average Nigerian who is going to be voting on that day? Are they voting for, is Yochayu on the ballot? Yochayu is not on the ballot. The PD constitution is very clear about the process of removal of a national chairman of a party. And if you go ahead and take it, and even if you're talking about resignation of Ayu, if Ayu resigns today, the next in line in accordance with our rules is the deputy national chairman from the same zone as the chairman, which is still going to be from northern parts of the country. Short of calling for a national convention, which is not timely at this point, the election less than 60 days away, it's clearly mischief.
Mr. Wike said that your presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, he came to his house after that party primary and said to him that I believe with you that Ayu must go. That was what he said. So where is the integrity of your presidential candidate as regards promises that were made hitherto? Because that's the point Mr. Wike put. Can you confirm or deny that? That's because most of the trust of Mr. Wike's argument is the fact that your presidential candidate gave him assurances and they know Ayu must go because it will upset the balance that a presidential candidate will be from a certain region and the chairman of the party will be from another region. Well, was that said or not said?
I would deal with what are the issues or what the law allows the PDP to do.
So are you saying Mr. Wike lied? That your presidential candidate never made such a promise?
I said it's even immaterial. It's immaterial because we're all members of the PDP. We all understand the process of removal of a national chairman.
But promises are meant to be kept.
I don't believe His Excellency Waziri Adamawa can make a promise of what he can't afford to do.
No, because that's the case of integrity. The process
of the removal of a national chairman of the PDP is a function of members of the PDP.
But he's not come out to deny if he said
Mr.
that.
Atiku Abubakar has also shown a lot of maturity by, if you notice, not addressing all these issues. He has stayed above the fray in these problems the party has been going through. Reason being that he's a very experienced statesman, and he understands that the issues here are not about you said, I said. The issue is about trying to build consensus, eyes on the ball and face the election. If you follow what the governor of Rivers State, with all due respect to him, has been doing the last couple of weeks, it's beginning to look like a circus. Every day there's one new series of drama that comes out that people are laughing all over Nigeria about. These are not the ways we want to run our campaign. I want to appeal to him to get a little bit more responsible and understand that he's running a state.
Is Mr. Wike irresponsible?
I didn't say he's irresponsible. I said get a little bit more responsible.
Let's make progress. It's not a dialogue.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, spokespersons like yourself in the PDP, they've been saying, with or without Wike, PDP will win the election. But Wike and the other governors, 4 governors, they are not alone. You have in that integrity group a person like Professor Jerry Gana, who is one of the founding fathers of the party. You have Chief Olabode George, who is also a founding father of the party. You have former Governor Donald Duke of Cross River State. So, I mean, you have a lot of very strong PDP members there. And Chief Olabode George has said, let us see how PDP will win the election without that coalition of aggrieved, belligerent, disgruntled members of the PDP. Do you think that Waziri Atiku Abubakar and the PDP generally can win this election without those members?
Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar is our hope he will win his election because of Nigerians. There's a very important issue about these coming elections that people do not understand or are yet to understand. Quite unlike other elections in Nigeria, there's a new technology that is going to be available for this election. The beavers. It's important, and PDP understands that this election is about the Nigerian people. Major stakeholders are important. The PDP will do everything within its capacity to ensure that they go into election as one house. But over and above that, is more important, this election is about the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people are the ones who are going to vote. Those days when people control territories are fast going moribund. It's important that even our major stakeholders understand that these elections are no longer about them. These elections are now about the people. So I encourage Nigerians to come out and vote for who they want to be their next president. I encourage Nigerians to disabuse themselves of this toga that one stakeholder can determine where you go. Everywhere all over this country, you have people who are very interested in this next process because the issues at stake are very critical. And Nigerians must understand that those issues are important for us in the next 4 years. It's not going to be left to a group of people. It's not going to be left to a group of people to decide who rules Nigeria. As important as they are, the PDP campaign train has moved on. We would love them to join. But we're not going to stop at the bus stop and continue to wait. Because the issues here are with the people. The issues here are not just about the PDP. We are done with our party primaries and the processes have gone on. Our campaigns now are directed at the Nigerian people, who are the primary voters that matter in these coming elections. So as much as we really want to deal with all the tendencies in the party, we'll also continue to appeal to them to see reason on why delivering Nigeria is more important than people's private interests. It is only when we get to Nigeria we can begin to talk about what we will be after that.